Yes! The silver price has hit $50. It is $50 silver price party time. With me, Joe Main, here at Good Morning Stackers. Use the time codes below to skip the parts you want to skip. We're going to be here for a while. We might have a couple of interviews, a couple of special guests, potentially a very, very old school OG silver stacker that we've spoken to before. We're going to have a good old rah silver over $50 party. We'll be taking a look at the price as well. We've had the spike up to past $50. Let's see where we're going to go maybe in the next few days, and we'll talk about the long-term future as well. But man, this is a silver party time. Get in here right now. You're watching Good Morning Stackers, the sometimes weekdaily live show. We go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays to do pre-recorded content. And I am Joe Main. I've been a stacker of precious metals since 2010, a stacker of silver. I worked for 3 major gold and silver bullion dealers. I worked for Goldstackers here in Australia. I worked for Bullion Now. I worked for Ainslie Bullion. And now I do this show and I speak to my amazing Good Morning Stackers family. While we wait for a few more people to come in, what I'll get you to do, just do me a favor, please. Can you head over to, and there's the look at the price. It just looks so good. Do me a favor and head over to x.com/it's Joe Main. Why would I want you to go over there? Just really quickly, while we wait for a few people to pile in, can you please do me a favor and follow me over here? Because what I need to do, I just need to edit something over here. I talk about lots of stuff on the X channel. Give me 1 minute. The $50 silver. Let's do that one. You can do it with me. What should I put? Silver price party. Let's see. Join us live. Right now. Price analysis. I know this is so special guests. Good times. Let's go. All right, that'll do. Why not? Cool. All right, fantastic people. Let's get into some comments. But you know what? We're going to wait for a couple people to come in. And you know what we're going to do? I'm going to introduce right now the brand new, especially, I think I'm kind of listening to it for the very first time, the official $50 silver party theme song. Are you ready? And let's dance it out a little bit too while we get people to come in. You ready? Here we go.
Yes, thank you. Hi, come on now. Party vibes. Let's go. Shining bright, it's time to celebrate.
Get in here, people.
Get that 50 mark, feeling so great. You're so great. Stackers wait long, but now we elevate. Bars and coins in hand, yeah, we dominate. From 80
we won't listen to the whole thing. Just want to hear the chorus.
Pop the bottles, let's get this party straight. It's a $50 silver party. Get your stacks up for the night. It's a $50 silver party. Dance to bitches in the light. Investments up, we're laughing all the way. Mighty stocks on fire, let the music play. Physical silvers got that special spark. Shining in our dreams, lighting up the dark. Pop the fireworks, feel that investor ride. All the lows to the high, yeah, we took the ride. Silver party. Get your stacks up all night.
One more chorus.
It's a $50 silver party. Dance with riches in the light.
There we go. Won't even go to the bridge. That's the now official $50 silver party theme song created by AI. Udio.com. Why not? Ladies and gentlemen, let's do a synchronized slurp for the $50 silver party. We've got a stack of people watching and we'll get to your comments, etc. We already have one guest lined up in the interview room, so we'll talk to them very, very soon. I'm waiting for the other guests to potentially come in. I think an OG stacker might be joining us as well, but let's do a synchronized slurp for the $50 silver party. What is this if you're just joining us? If you're joining us as a regular subscriber, you know what this is. If you're joining us from, say, Wall Street Silver on Reddit or Silver DJ Club on Reddit, you may not be familiar. If you're joining us because you were one of the you're one of the students at Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com, of which I am one, then you won't be familiar with this either. It's the synchronized slurp. You grab a tasty beverage. I've got my tasty beverage. We slurp them synchronously together. Yes, the rule is you must do it audibly. You tell me what you're drinking in the comments, and we do it together. It's the slurp heard around the world. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1 for a $50 silver, baby. All right, let's just talk silver, shall we? Let's get to some shout-outs. We're having a good old $50 silver party. GMS says, Mark, Florida, good to see you, my friend. Luke Kabasi, probably people dumping for profits. People talking, yes, we had a little bit of a price dip, but come on, man, that was probably expected. Not to you, but just to everyone. It was probably expected. Knackers O'Reilly says, now the simplicity has got the monkey off its back. I see it settling and beginning to refocus on its price future. Okay, I like that. Oh, now that's silver. Okay, yeah, got it right. Morning, everyone. Hello. I think we are seeing a pullback now. Yeah, we are. Probably we'll take a quick look at the price as well. Don't know what happened there, but we'll just keep talking. No, I think it's just finding resistance now before it pushes higher. You could be right. Mon, g'day, Mon. Great to see you, my friend. It is a silver, $50 silver party. Bill George says, big picture, very exciting times ahead. This may be a small window of opportunity to get in, all right, before this goes seriously north. Fantastic. Chezzy. Hi, Joe. I remember your face from BN. I probably served you. Did I serve you in the store, or did you see me on, the YouTube channel that I created and all those videos and the epic unboxings and all that stuff? Did I serve you in the store? I hope I did. I hope we had a good old chat. Let's see. Posh Sloth. I am at work, but I will be poking in where I can. No problem. Exciting and scary stuff. I've heard a lot of people saying that just recently. It's scary because, there's implications for why gold is so high and why silver is so high as well. Yeah, there is an aspect of that. I also just think it's, for silver, it's 45 years in the making, and it's, the price is going to go where the price is going to go, probably regardless of major market forces, except for maybe major insider market manipulation, something like that, to try and, tamp down their short covering. Do you know what I mean? 51, baby. Yeah, we got to over $51. Morning, Joe, says Jason Ashworth. Morning, Jason. It's especially good to see you today, my friend. $50 silver. We did it. Jason says, morning, bullionaires. Mate, one day we shall. Yes, it was above 50 for under 30 minutes. It was, but we're having the $50 silver party. And do you think it's going to stay there? Do you think that's it? I certainly don't. Bill 457 said silver dance. GMS says silent stacker. Good to see you too. Let's take a look at the silver price and we'll do that. Let me just check my mail because I did have a couple of people trying to get in. You're welcome to come in now if you like. All right, try again. I've sent that message to someone in particular who we shall be talking to. Haha! Now who's that? That was someone different. So we've got that person there. Now, I won't pop you on just yet because we're waiting for someone else. So maybe you go do your thing, that other person. But let's see. We're going to quickly have a look at the price and talk about that. I'm just going to send another message. Yeah, okay. That person's maybe coming in. Cool. Let's take a quick look at the silver price itself. Let me go here. No, I didn't want to give it away. Let's take a look at the silver price. Here is silver. All right, man. Silver on the daily time frame priced in USD $49. Okay. we had this beautiful move. So let's just see how we got there. If you went to bed early, you didn't realize when you wake up in the morning, you checked the price and you saw it under 50. And I had a couple of people posting just before when I posted on one of the things saying, silver hasn't hit 50 yet. What are you talking about? Kind of thing. It's like, have you checked the price overnight? So here's what we did. This was on the 1 hour time frame. I did seriously say yesterday, if silver broke $50 USD yesterday by 11 p.m. my time last night, I'd go live pantsless as well. Now, not under pantsless, just pantsless. And we crept up to, so there is 11 p.m. So we got to $49.70 roughly, saved by the bell. And then in the following hour, now I stayed up to watch it, but it's 11 something. My kids are in bed. I'm too tired. I'm not going to do a live stream for an hour. After that, then that's when we saw between about 11 and 12 roughly, that moved way past it. So what would have happened was a really large spike pretty quickly, because you would have come up to the previous all-time high back here. And that is just on this particular chart. And that was sitting at, $49.83, I think it is technically. So you got to like, where are we? 49.80 something. And then, just decided to peek through. We spent a little bit of time up there. So we broke through. We've had a high of $51.20. That is fantastic. Congratulations to all involved. Yeah, so what's an hour time frame? Roughly 4 hours, roughly above there, but now the breakdown. Since then, something we'll note on the 4 hour time frame. So on the hour time frame, let me go back. On the hour, we had 2 hours closing above $50 US, but on the 4 hour, when you go out to the more macro, the mini macro, no 4 hour close yet above $50, and that means no, not yet. Oh, we've got another one. Do we have another one? Yes, we do. And the other guest is in the green room as well, so I'll get that other guest just to chill out for a couple of minutes. And we'll just quickly talking about the silver price, and then I will get that second guest who just popped in to come on, and we'll have a good old chat. Give you a heads up, people. One of the OGs, the absolute OGs of silver, is joining us once again. We did speak to him previously, so here is. I'll get you in very soon, mate. Let's see. Here's the silver price, as I said. So on the 4 hour time frame, we haven't had a close above yet. Spike, great to see, above 50. Dance party, we just did that. Cool. On the daily time frame, now that's a big spike. Okay, so what can we expect, at least in the very interim? Okay, and obviously we're not talking about weeks and months and years ahead. We know where silver is going in the longer term. My first guest coming up is the most rah silver person you will ever meet in your entire life. For people who probably can guess who I'm talking about, you're looking forward to seeing them on the show in just a couple of minutes. But this is a spike above. Okay, so we've definitely closed the day below, and this is technically called a shooting star candle. Okay, and before I even knew the name of it, it's just basically saying, and I've said for a long time, the large wicks in the upward direction, we don't like, preferably because it does say sellers are more so in control of the market. We love the ones that the big spikes down. That's great because buyers are in control. But this one's just suggesting now it's highly unlikely, at least today, that you're going to see a move back above and a close. It closed back above the previous all-time high now, which is at $51.20 something. Cool. Could we close the day above 50? That would be a great sign. So closing days, remember what we say, spikes in general mean SHIT. It's where you close timeframes at. Closing the day above 50 would be just really good. Obviously, closing the week, closing the month, the larger you get out, the larger you go out, the better. So this is the weekly time frame. We've got 24 hours roughly until the close of the week. Hopefully we can close above 50. That would be great. Let me show you the monthly. And actually, I'll go back to the daily because this is what I'm probably expecting. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Excuse me. This is how you know the show is live. I'm expecting probably, unless I'm wrong, and I'll be really happy to be wrong because that means number going up, but I'm probably expecting a few down days at least. At least 2, maybe 3 down days, something like that. Could be wrong. Happy to be wrong. but just because of that spike in particular. So let's take a look at where we could potentially go down in the very small time, and you shouldn't be worrying about this anyway. You should be dollar cost averaging when you can, buy on the regular. Don't try and buy the dips and all that kind of stuff. If you've got cash, you just buy it. You buy it at $51.20, okay? You buy it if it gets down here. You buy it when it's at $60, $100, whatever, so long as you have, investable cash. But let's take a little look. The area I would first start with is maybe from the most recent obvious kind of peak down, like a pivot point. Probably say there. Look, some people would say on the daily you could really say there. So it's in the real short term. You could say something like the following, which is between the 0.618, this is the zag zone, okay? Prices tend to retrace 1/3 to 2/3 of their moves. I'm really probably more favoring there, but we'll just do there. Yeah, your 47 to 45 kind of range. Okay, I'm probably favoring something like this, however. Something like that would not be surprising. Okay, I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but it's not surprising. And as I've spoken about before, let me get rid of this $50 silver line for a second. As I said before, these Fibonacci lines, so this is logarithmic Fibonacci from this low and this high. I think that's the most obvious one. All these here represent the levels of strong to weak support. Okay, so I'll tell you what would be incredibly bullish is if you actually just find support right here at the 0.236, that's at $47.25 roughly. If you bounce off there and then start, creeping up to this kind of area, oh yeah, that's looking good. Okay, that's called very strong support. Strong support is coming down to the top end of the normal expected support range. So that's at about $44.90. Oh no, down maybe $3-4. Big deal. Look where we've come from. Okay, and that's actually still that's strong support. That's very strong support. This is neutral, kind of neutral. It's like, yeah, you get into this zone, no problem. That's at 43. I would call weak support here at 41.30. I don't think it gets down into there. That's my humble opinion. On balance of probability, I'd say somewhere between here and there. So maybe no lower than about 43 is my rough guesstimate at this stage. If we do see a protracted move down, that'll take it to what? That's like a couple of weeks, right? Something like that. So again, on the daily time frame. And the reason I say this is just because of this big daily spike, the fact that we've broken $50 and then we had that big spike, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe a little bit of rest around about here. So yeah, watch out for that sort of down to 45-ish, down 45 to 43, as I've been talking about, and you really want that. That would be uber bullish. So that's kind of the general where I think silver may go in the next week or 2 weeks, something like that. If you disagree, post a comment in. If you think we just sail up from here, like really, really quickly, and we just keep going up, post a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. I'll pop out to the macro, and then in 1 or 2 minutes, we're going to get our first guest on to talk about all things silver and let me get rid of that and all of you. Once again, you're watching Good Morning Stackers, where I talk about precious metals. I talk about other stuff too, but today it's dedicated to the $50 silver party time. Let me show you the quarterly, right? Let's just really go and zoom out. For anyone who's unfamiliar with my stuff, if you're not a previous subscriber, please hit the big red subscribe button right now to stay updated. Here it is, man. This is silver on the quarterly time frame, logarithmic chart. Okay, what this measures on the side here, it's a percentage increase rather than nominal linear value increase. So, for example, if you do that, okay, you can see on the side here, 16, 20, 24, 28. It's going up in regular dollar amounts, whereas the logarithmic is better for longer term time frames. And so that's the one I use, and most people tend to use the logarithmic. 45-year cup and handle, you know it, I know it, it's happening, it's happened, it's continuing to happen, okay? Looking absolutely fantastic. It's not going to be slowing down over the longer term, okay? Some people might say, okay, you could have a little dip in, this next this coming quarter? Sure, maybe even to into the following quarter. I don't think so, but yeah, look at this on the longer term. We've had 1, 2, 3. We're now in the 4th month of green on the quarterly time frame. What, a little bit down from there on a quarterly time frame? Oh no, big deal. And I would even go as far as to say, and I don't think we're necessarily getting down to this price, right? But I would even go as far as to say, back down. I'm not saying it's getting here, but this would be really normal. Okay, so don't stress about it if it does. Look at that. That's at the previous close on the quarterly time frame. It had never closed a quarterly time frame above $38 ever in history, and we did it last quarter. The quarter just finished, right? So even coming back to test there, man, don't stress. You wouldn't be selling. Okay, even if we did that couple of red quarters, I don't think that's happening, but even that is incredibly normal. So it's onwards and upwards from here. Where do I think silver can go in the longer term? I think it can go to as high as, and I'm about to get schooled by our OG person who's about to join us. But I think just from a normal market moves, not putting in any kind of, SHIT, ST, shit hits the fan sort of stuff. $700 silver is absolutely doable in, a long time, talking 10 to 20 years, but that's just the cup and handle. Again, all my regular subscribers have seen this a million times, but just in case you're joining us for the first time, you take that move, you measure it, and that takes it up to about $700 silver. Again, a long time from now, completely doable. Are you telling me we can't hit $100 silver? Are you telling me we can't hit $200 silver? Of course we can. That's absolutely doable. Okay. So looking fantastic. It's the $50 silver party. Just watch out for the next few days, and hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we start closing a day, closing weeks, and hopefully closing months above the $50 really soon, and just onwards and upwards instead of having this sort of protracted kind of move. Yeah, that's it. Looking good for the silver price. Now I'm going to get one of the OGs over here. I'll just quickly check some comments. No, there's no other comments that I need to do. All right, let me see if I can get the person on. Let me see. I'm going to have to do this. Let's see. Let me check. Yeah, they're both still waiting. Okay, so it looks like I'll be able to do that. Give me 1 second. I'm going to have to, I think, introduce them firstly, because then the next panel is about to give it away. You're about to hear from, if it all works out from a technical perspective, you're about to hear from the OG of OG Stackers, Mr. Chris Duane, who has joined us on the show before. So let's head over here. Let's see if we can get him on. Let me add him to the right here. And does that work? No, that's not the one I want. So I have to get rid of you, and I'll have to come back. Hello, my friends.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Let me pop you up in the interview guest. So you're not muted. You should be all right. Now, I want everyone in the comments to tell me if they can hear. Now, you shouldn't be muted, interview guests. I'll have to wait. I'll have to get Ricky to come back on later. Give me a sec. There we go. Give us a 1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2.
There we go. We can hear you, my friend. Welcome back.
There's a bit of a lag.
It is a little bit of a lag. That's okay, but we can still see you and we can still hear you. Welcome back. This is Chris Duane, everyone. For anyone who doesn't know, I mean, this really can't be the case. Or anyone who doesn't know who Chris Duane is, I'd say, one of the OG of OG Silver Stackers. Of course, creator of the Silver Shield range of silver coins, of course. Get them over at, I think it's silvershieldcollection.com. Correct me if I'm incorrect with that. It's silvershieldcollection.com. Is that right, Chris?
It's at Chris Duane, silvershieldcoins.com.
Okay, cool. That's where it is. No worries. Head over there. And of course, Chris from the Greatest Truth Never Told series on YouTube. Of course, the Sons of Liberty Academy, which I went through as well. And Chris, during the last major bull run in silver back in 09, 10, 11, etc. Chris was all over the interwebs, of course, and Even before then, I mean, Chris started investing in 2005, I think it was, sold his house at the top of the housing bubble, and then put it basically all into silver, created all this amazing educational content to do with silver, etc. So anyone who was an OG back then recognizes Chris. It's good to see you, man. Tell me just initially, what are your initial thoughts? I mean, you've been waiting for this for so long, but still, it has now happened. What is it? What's the initial feelings? What are you feeling like?
I feel it's a bit of a letdown because silver finally got back to 50, which it's been struggling to get back to since 1980. And silver has been the only asset that I know of that has not gotten back to its 1980 high. If you remember back then, gold was about $850, and the United States federal treasury or debt was about $1 trillion. So gold now is like 5 times higher than its 1980 high, and silver's still struggling to get back to its 1980 high.
Mm-hmm.
And the United States federal deficit is 37 times higher than it was back in 1980.
Yeah.
So that says to me that just considering the United States debt, silver needs to get to $1,850 US dollars just to get back to a real all-time high on silver. So when we get to $50 silver, okay, we can pop a champagne cork or two, to do it. But it's at the end of the day, we're in the beginning phases of a global hyperinflation that's going to make all the global debt go away, and then we would need to see 4, 5, 6-digit silver to make it all hyperinflate away. And that we're at the very beginning of this hyperinflation that I think is going to take down the entire global economy, and that this is a one-way ticket out. Silver is the only way out, I think, that is going to be, when all is said and done, even better than gold, Bitcoin, and the dollar. Silver is going to outperform all of them.
Man, once again, I love it when you come on, because I get the like, the wind up me. It's fantastic to hear, man. I'm going to share the price quickly. I'll go back to the price and you'll be able to see it, and you can talk over it. But I'll just share, just for everyone, just the inflation at bare minimum. I'll just quickly share now the inflation adjusted, and just sort of the currently understood general idea of inflation adjusted price of silver. Give me 1 second. I'll share that over here. Let me find that. And that, if that tells you nothing else about where we are. So this is XAG USD silver inflation adjusted price. Now I have a whole bunch of stuff on there, so let me get rid of that. So what you can see very, very clearly is back here in 1980, okay, well, that's the equivalent of $200 today. So again, this is inflation adjusted to, so $50 silver is now about $200. Okay, so everyone's used to looking at, this chart here and going, oh, wow, we're back to the we've just printed a new all-time high. Yeah, look at the inflation adjusted amount. We are nowhere near the previous all-time high. We're not even above the high from 2011. So $50 in 2011 is like $72 now, with all the money printing that went on. Of course, what happened in 2020 and all that stuff, that the thing that shall not be named and all that. So we are just literally, and there's a lot of stuff going on here, but we have literally just broken out. Look at these downtrend lines, for example. It's amazing to me. And I think, and if I get rid of a few things here, we're just now in what I would call the public part, and what many other people would call the public participation phase of this new bull run. So we've started this new accumulation run. Markets go, just for people watching, markets go in 3 main phases: accumulation, public participation, excess phase. It does it every single time. We've had the accumulation phase. We're now just in the public participation phase. And now that we've finally just broken $50 as well, maybe a tiny little bit of a dip around here, but now we're just really getting into probably I'd say the second half, or maybe even we've just come out of the first third of the public participation phase as well, because everyone's going to be talking about $50 silver, $50 silver, $50 silver. Yeah, but look, inflation adjusted, nowhere near it. So you've got a lot of room to move. So talk to me a bit more, because you did say, I'll come back to you, Chris. You did say, in a little message to me just before, that silver, you thought, I think you said something about silver outpacing gold. Even we're talking thousands. Yeah, give me
So
that spiel.
the big thing that I get most focused on is the gold to silver ratio. I think today it's like at a 1 to 80 gold to silver ratio, meaning that you
Mm,
need 80 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold.
yep.
But if you get to the mining ratio, it's only a 1 to 6 mining ratio. For every 1 ounce of gold that's found, 6 ounces of silver are found. So that's what Mother Nature gives us out of
Mm,
the ground. So that's a more natural ratio, not this bankster manipulated price of silver where it's down so low relative to gold. And then the worst part is the gold to silver ratio in um, the vaulted late area is at a 6 to 1 gold to silver ratio, meaning that there's
wow.
6 ounces more gold than there is physical silver above ground, because silver is used as an industrial metal and has been used and abused as an industrial metal, that we have this deficit over the last 5 years that have sucked up all the above ground stockpiles, to now we're mining it out of existence.
Mm,
So this current 1 to 80 gold to silver ratio is completely unsustainable, and that's the basis of my entire investment in physical silver. That while the gold to silver ratio is so high, it only pays to be in all physical silver until this gold to silver ratio drops to a more natural ratio of at least a 1 to 6 gold to silver mining ratio that we have. But I think it's going to go to a 1 to 1 gold to silver ratio, which would represent an 80 times return of value over gold than in silver than you would see in over gold, during a time where I think that we're going to have an everything bubble collapse. So everything in the world is going to be on the sale at the same time. Silver is going to basically quantum flip itself over gold in terms of that. So I'm trying to make the most bullish case possible to be invested in physical silver and be strong with that investment, that you'll be able to ride this out, because I think it's a one-way ticket through hyperinflation, and that silver is going to be the best place to be out of all the assets on earth.
man, I remember going through the Sons of Liberty Academy, and we've talked about this before, etc., and just having my mind absolutely blown, with all this information. As I say to you every time, when I don't speak to you, I tend to go back into the just your normal, market moves and things like that. And 700, I'm going, oh, 700 US dollar silver in 10 to 20 years and all that. And then you come on the show, I'm like, oh yeah, shit, I forgot about that, and I didn't factor in that and all that. Um,
I mean, if we
where,
get to $700 silver, $1,000 silver is not that far away. $10,000 silver. If you look at what happened with Venezuela, Weimar Germany,
mm,
Zimbabwe, as soon as
mm,
the hyperinflation starts,
mm,
they don't stop until they get to the end, and
mm.
we're talking trillions of dollars an ounce at that point.
Yeah, so
And
then, yeah,
that's the death
correct,
of the
yes.
currency. You guys are right. You guys in the Australian dollar and Canada are just a little bit ahead of us.
Yeah,
The United States is not that much better off.
yeah. Well, I mean, XAG so silver in Australian dollars. I mean, yeah, I mean, because, the dollar is dying, the US dollar is dying. So, yeah, look at this, we hit 75 US dollars. So back here, if I can't do it, but back here in 2011, the Australian dollar was basically at parity with the US dollar. So when
You're
US
right.
dollar, when silver hit, I'm sharing the Australian dollar price right now on the screen. When it was around about the same. So silver hit roughly 50 in USD, and then it was about $46-47 now with the total debasement of the dollar, etc., and just it totally strengthening against the US dollar. Now we're at, I mean, we started seeing all-time highs in silver back in October of last year. And since then, we've just been rocketing up. So yeah, we saw $78, and now we're around about that sort of $75 mark. So you kind of see that as the canary in the coal mine. Is that correct, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched what's happening with you guys and with Canada, with silver, performing the way that it is. It's doing what it should be doing, but it's just it's nothing to really cheer about, because it's really the death of
Mm,
our currencies that are happening, and then
mm,
there's going to be broad social replications of this happen when the dollar collapses and the global economies collapse. So it's kind of a bittersweet investment, but it's the only choice that you have to save yourself out of the currencies that are going to collapse.
Yeah, man, I totally understand. Now, I will put the proviso there, of course, that when anyone who's been in this game for a long time, we'll hear things like $1,000 silver, $10,000 silver, it could be $1 trillion silver, literally, and of course that means hyperinflationary scenario, and what's the price of a cup of coffee, a liter of milk, a loaf of bread, and all that. But and what I've said to, I mean, I don't know, thousands of customers in my time in the bullion industry is you got to get your head out of dollar denominated assets, because they'll come in and say, oh, I'm thinking about getting into silver. I do the frequently asked questions, and then blah, blah, blah. And they always at the end, they ask, what price do you think it can hit? And I said, it could be anything. It could be $10,000 an ounce, but what's, the liter of milk and all that. So you've got to relate it to what is the cost of other goods and services in there. But in terms of that, I mean, you've spoken about it before, and I'll make this the last question for you, because I think there's a bit of internet sort of connectivity stuff going on, not your fault. But I remember, like, if we're talking about it in a relative term, how much goods and services it can buy you later on down the track. What I've really loved, and I'll pause that, I'll just mute that for a second, so that's no feedback there. What you'd spoken about in the Sons of Liberty Academy, etc., is a really interesting one, which is the roughly 1/10 of an ounce of silver used to equate to around about 1 day's worth of hard labor back in, a long, long time ago. Do you feel like it can get back to that kind of range? I think oh, yep, no, you're still there. Did you hear that question by chance? Yeah, you're there. Did you get
No,
that
I
question?
didn't. I thought you were talking about the silver relationship to hard labor.
Yes, I was. That's correct. So you'd mentioned that before. The 1/10 of an ounce silver used to be a day's labor of hard labor. Where do you silver, 10,000, 100,000, hyperinflationary scenario? But in relation to goods and services, do you think it can get back to that kind of range?
Yeah, I think eventually at the end of the everything bubble, we're going to have the beginning of a silver standard again. And it's going to happen in the way that silver is going to hyperinflate in all currencies and all commodities all at once. And it's going to not be an event that can be ignored. It's going to be a market force that's going to push silver way above where we think it's going to go. And that's why I try to tell people, don't put a dollar price tag target on your silver. I think it's going to rise too far and too fast to sell for dollars. It's going to end up in being a direct transference of wealth for land, labor, stocks, or whatever, but it's going to get past dollar price targets, because that's what ends up happening in hyperinflations. The currencies get devalue into nothing.
Mm.
So the gold or the silver to labor ratio historically has been 1/10 of an ounce of silver for a day's worth of hard human labor, and that you can find that in the Bible and Sun Tzu's Art of War and all sorts of things. I think silver is going to become, quite honestly, too expensive to be used in common currency, used for labor. It's going to be valued as a priceless family heirloom, where I think it'll be transferred from generation to generation, but not necessarily from person to person.
Mm.
I think what's going to end up happening is that the price of silver is going to go up so far, so fast, that silver physically is going to sell out all over the globe, all at the same time, when there's going to be oceans of gold available. And that's going to change the fundamental value of gold and silver forever. That silver is going to be valued more than gold in the gold to silver ratio. And I think it's going to start at least at a 1-to-1 gold to silver ratio. But I think that there's far less silver above ground than there is in vaults, because you have to remember, all the gold that's ever been mined has been treasured and protected in art and gold and bullion deposits, and never used up. Silver's been used and abused as an industrial metal, and all the stockpiles are gone, and we've been in a deficit for the last 5 years. So there's physically less silver above ground than there is gold, and yet silver has 10,000 industrial uses that gold doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very hard on gold at the end of the day and very positive on silver. And then I think that if people are smart, they would sell all their gold right now at it and get 80 times more physical silver. And that to me would be the conscious turning point of the next generation of silver stackers who say, you know what, we don't want gold, we want silver at the end of the day.
Yeah, man. I love your work, and I've always loved the enthusiasm. And yeah, it seems around about that sort of 80 kind of level. I've popped that in around this 80 kind of ish level. It seems like the kicker. If we can sort of get down below there, it seems like your 50s next, and then who knows from there.
And that means silver can run up a lot faster than gold can,
Mm,
because that will compress. So gold may stagnate at $4,000, but silver can run up to $200 without even batting an eye, and just compress the gold to silver ratio just a little bit.
mm,
You're talking about more of the dramatic ones that I'm talking about with a
mm.
1-to-1 gold to silver ratio, which would be the grand totality of all the silver above ground and all the silver below ground. You're talking an 80 times return of silver over gold
Mm.
during the time that there's a global generational debt-based fiat Ponzi collapse and all the everything bubble collapses. So you'd be walking around with basically the only money on earth that's going to be worth more than gold. To me, the upside potential of silver is unlimited.
Yeah, love it, man. Always good to have you on the show, and I reckon we're in for a really wild ride, and great to have you. And I'll get to the next person, and I'll get you back. You late night there, I'm sure it is, my friend. Great to catch up with you, and let's.
Thank you so much for having me back
No
on.
worries, man. And when
on.
Silver's at triple digits, we'll get you back on. I'll get you back on in between there as well. But
That's a date. And then I'll keep telling you the same thing. 4, 5, 6 digits
yeah.
is what it's going to take to monetize all the global debt. We have a global generational debt-based fiat Ponzi scheme,
Mm.
$340 trillion worth of debt that we all owe to basically the Rothschilds at the end of the day. So we can hyperinflate silver to be $1 trillion an ounce to pay off all the debt all at
Mm.
once and
Mm.
start over again with a debt-free currency, and everybody's free of all the debt, all the world. I mean, if we're worried about a depopulation event, that would cause a baby boom quicker than anything. If we
That's
forgive
true.
all the debt all at the same time, saying, let's not have a debt-based monetary system. Let's just start it over again with gold and silver. And I think that would be the quickest way of rebounding humanity.
Man, I can see the case for that for sure. And love your work, much appreciated. Thanks for joining us, dude. And I will catch you again soon. Okay, thanks, Chris. Appreciate
All
it.
right, thank you.
Thanks, man. All right, so we're going to go over to here, and now if we'll get some comments here. If that was awesome to have Chris Duane on again. Was was and still am a big fan of Chris Duane's work. Got into Chris Duane's stuff very early on in my silver journey. We'll get some comments now, and I'll get the other guest who was going to come on, but there was a little bit of technical issue there. Who is going to come in and join us? Okay, now there we go. We'll get that other guest to. Oh, there we go. He's listening. All right, I'll get you on, mate. We'll have a good old chat with you too. Give me 1 second, my friend. I have to do something quickly. I'm going to have to change over a panel. Let me see. Once again, you're watching Good Morning Stackers, the silver $50 price party. Absolutely kicking butt. We'll go GMS interview. This is what happens. Yeah, cool. All right. I think I need to do this and you're going to have to see it. Okay, that is what it is. We're going to do one of those ones. And then we're going to do one of these ones. And you get to go over here, my friend. Hey, here he is. There he is. Hey everyone, it's Ricky from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. Tell me, my friend, how are you feeling about $50 silver?
Not too bad. It's been a bit of a wild ride the last week or so.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Tell me about the store activity.
Yeah, it's been interesting. There's a lot of people coming in that are new as well to stacking. So people that normally buy are buying more, but we're also seeing like a influx of new customers, and they are buying higher volumes as well. So we're sort of going from, people buying 10, 20 ounces to buying, 100 or 5 or 6 kilos at a time, which makes it difficult because I don't know if anyone's sort of done a bit of browsing amongst the dealers, but it's pretty hard to get larger format silver at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of volume of customer increase, like percentage increase, what have you noticed over the last couple of months, basically?
Well, yeah, it's sort of been the last 3 weeks. I know like the last week's been crazy, and everyone's probably heard that around the community, but it's actually, we've sort of noticed it over the last 3 weeks. So the 2 weeks leading up to this week were also increased, and we're probably talking 100% increase. And then like sort of the start of this week's been quite busy, but I think we're starting to see that ease off a little bit. But I think that's not demand. I think it's stock availability. I think that if we had the stock, we'd be up 300 or 400%.
Yeah, right.
Because there's probably 10, 20 customers a day that are chasing kilos that we can't provide. So,
right. Nothing's. I won't. We chat privately, but there might potentially be a fix to that kind of larger supply. I mean, I can't say for every other dealer, but for you, there might be some influx of a particular brand of kilos and a particular band of stuff may be coming in quite soon. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're working really, as difficult it is at the moment with how busy we are working on supply in the background. So we are trying to get other avenues to get metals quickly. And so we've been working on that for a few months now, and it's a bit unfortunate that we didn't get it all squared away prior to this sort of mini bull run that's happening at the moment in demand. But yeah, we are working in the background to get metals as quickly as we can so that we can keep them in stock.
Well, I know of, again, I won't give stuff away, but I know what's coming, what's very likely coming down the track for Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. And it's quite exciting. So yeah, extra supply. I can't really give away too much, but I know what's coming down the track potentially. It's looking good. Is there anything that you can give away now, or are you still like we're just gonna keep
No, we're still going through the motions. So
cool. Yeah, we'll
do an update when those things come through. But yeah, we're
about that other side of things that we talked about? How would I put it? South versus north. Is that stuff that can be talked about, or do you want to wait for that?
We can speak about it in some terminology. So sure. We are looking to get a option, I suppose, to supply. For those of you that are local to Western Australia, you know the difficulties with north and south and the travelling through the city and things like that. So we are looking at options to get the ability to have at the very least a outlet north of the river to sort of make it a bit more convenient for people. We do get a lot of people sort of driving, an hour and a half to come down to see us because unfortunately once you go through the city it sort of whacks 40 minutes on anything. So
cool. All right, so yeah, there's an option coming. All right, cool, good to know. Let's talk about, I don't know, is there anything else that you particularly wanted to mention? There's obviously what we do here. Just so everyone knows, I have a thing called the Silver Investor Club. I'll put a link somewhere. And that's a private club for silver investors. I'll show it on the screen in just a minute. But what we normally do on a Friday, this is an unusual live stream. We normally go do a private live stream over the Silver Investor Club, and you actually but you mention and you give the Silver Investor Club members a private silver special. We've been doing that for the last 4 or 5 weeks. Again, I'll put a link somewhere to the club. It's free to join for the moment. Do you have another one for us this particular time?
Yeah. So what we normally try and do is pick a product that that we've got ample supply of, I suppose, so that people can sort of fill their boots. Unfortunately, the way things are at the moment, it's pretty hard to narrow down any one product that we have enough stock of to sort of run for a special. So we thought we'd maybe do a bit of a special across the board for those people. So for the Silver Investor Club, normally we do a private listing with a password.
Yes.
But so what we're going to do this week is if you make a purchase, you can just there's a section in the order that you can fill in the notes.
Okay.
If you just mention that you're the Silver Investor Club and your username from the Silver Investor Club,
yep,
we're going to run it. So we're going to do $2 off any smaller products, so ones and twos, and then $1 off per ounce, and then $1 off per ounce for any of the larger format products, so 5s, 10s, and kilos.
Oh, right. Well, okay. So to confirm, and I'll go over here. So if anyone's not, they don't know, I'll put a link somewhere. This is the Silver Investor Club. Okay, it's my private club. There's 202 members. It's currently free to join. Okay, I'll put a link somewhere. I'll put it in the live chat. I'll put it after the fact. I'll put it in the pinned comment on YouTube, etc., and on X. But it's the private Silver Investor Club. Private club for new and veteran silver investors, exclusive bullion deals, giveaways, analysis, blah, 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 all that kind of good stuff. And then you just hit the join button, currently free to join. And when you get to the community section, you'll see here streams and specials. Okay. And then normally what will happen is you'll see, we do the private live stream hangout. You'll get a link to that current week's product and the password for it as well. But as you're saying, just for this week in particular, all you need to do is just order something on the website, on your website, perthbullion.com.au. And as long as you're a member of the Silver Investor Club, and we can match it up with the member names. Okay, so these are all the members. We can go through all the names, and meaning the now, do you mean the first, last name, or their username, the one like the @ whatever?
Yeah, either works, I think.
Yep. Cool.
We'll obviously have to do that manually.
So, for example, if Luke Kabasi, who's currently watching the show, who is a member of the Silver Investor Club, wanted to get discounts off, he would just say in the notes, that's my username on that. And then you can actually personally go and check those against the member numbers. Is that in the member names? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. And just quickly, let me go back to the interview panel. Can you just break that down once again? So if someone wanted to buy, so if they're buying 1 ounce or 2 ounce silver, they get how much off per ounce?
So we're going to do $2 off per ounce for the smaller ones.
For 1 ounce and 2 ounce silver. That's really good. Yep. Okay. Per ounce. That is. So if you're buying a 1 ounce silver something, you'll get $2 off. If you're buying a 2 ounce silver round, you'll get $4 off, I presume. Is that correct?
Yep.
And then the 5s, the 10s, and the kilos, whatever that is, you get that. So you're saying someone could buy a kilo. If you had a kilo, they'd get like $32 off.
Yeah, and we're going to round it. So don't be like, oh, I didn't get my 32.
You'd round it to maybe 30 or something like that. But if they're buying a 5 ounce bar, they'll get $5 off, and $10 10 ounce $10 off, etc. Okay, that's really, really good. Fantastic. What's going on with the YouTube channel at the moment? How's that all going?
Yeah. Just obviously, I know some people, like the YouTube stuff, and we like providing that content. And I know some of the channels sort of prioritize that, but fortunately for us, it's sort of a nice to have. And our commitment is like, we make a commitment to ship our products in a certain time frame and all that sort of stuff. And we never want to get to a point where people are, really waiting excessive amounts of time to be served, or, phones going unanswered and things like that. So
totally,
the YouTube stuff is, I suppose, it plays second fiddle to us actually providing the service to the customers. So
got to do that
when
first,
we get busy. It's just a bit unfortunate that something's got to fall off, and we'd rather it was, the YouTube stuff than our customer service, I guess.
Oh, I totally understand. Absolutely. But just mainly the point was really meaning to ask is how has that experience been for you, making content? Because, the content I think you make is great. And I find that they particularly love your, your opinion. It's just you sitting at the desk and giving your opinion on something. I find those tend to have the huge biggest views from the beginning of starting the YouTube channel till now, because you started it in May of last year when you launched the company, until now. Has it become easier, for you, a bit more of a, I was nervous back then, but not as nervous now. Say again?
Yeah. Still my least favorite exercise. Yeah, I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but it's what the customers want, and they want to. I
think you do a great job.
And yeah, so, and I rather conservative in like expressing my views, because I don't want too many people to take my views and sort of run with those for making their own financial decisions. So obviously we precursor everything with not financial advice, but it's even if I am as bullish as all hell on silver, I tend to try and express myself and talk about things in a more pessimistic manner. And it's not because I'm not a big believer in it. It's just that I'd rather not people making big financial decisions on the back of my advice. So I sort of try and keep a bit reserved, and talk about things that, I just want to express my opinion, and I don't think that I'm right about very much of it. But, it's an opinion, and like I only take my opinion from things I learn, and I think it's just a way that, I spend quite a bit of time listening to hundreds of videos and things like that to sort of keep abreast of the situation, and hopefully it's just a way to sort of maybe synthesize some of the stuff that's out there into a, I suppose, not clickbaity format that people can absorb a bit of actual information.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I'm just sharing the screen with everyone now. This is the Perth Bullion Exchange YouTube channel. So that's youtube.com/@Perth Bullion Exchange, or just search Perth Bullion Exchange. And, a lot of those videos, there's some great old school stuff that you did before, which was like, just for the newbies. I mean, this has had nearly 10,000 views. I mean, that's great for a channel with about 1,300 subscribers. It's absolutely amazing. So silver bars versus coins versus rounds, or when you talked about the Trump tariffs and the Aussie gold prices, nearly 2,500 views. You do unboxings as well, all that stuff that you could normally expect from other YouTube channels, which I may have or may not have had a hand in doing, all that kind of stuff. So I highly recommend people heading over to the Perth Bullion Exchange channel as well. Any final thoughts before we let you go?
No, I think as always, I sort of try and steer people with keeping a level head with these things. But like you're in your charting earlier, Joe, like there probably is going to be some degree of a pullback. It's just holding firm, and if you believe in it, if nothing's changed, the price movement shouldn't worry you too much. You just keep plugging away and things will turn out all right, I think. Yep,
absolutely agreed, man. Someone just commented, it's already back at $49.50. As we're going live, we'll be $50 by the end of the live show. You never know, quite possibly. Ricky, thanks for joining us, mate. I'll put details and I'll speak about the special after that. And yeah, man, good to have you on the channel. I know it's like 8:30 in the morning there, so we appreciate it. I did this at 10:30 a.m. instead of 9:30 a.m. specifically for you, so you didn't have to come at 6:30. So you're welcome, mate. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us, mate. I'll talk to you later. Yeah. Get him out of there, and we'll come back here, ladies and gentlemen. We're at the 1 hour mark. It is the $50 silver price party. The price has hit $50 US silver. We've looked at the price. We've talked about that. We spoke to Duane, the amazing Duane. We just spoke to Ricky from Perth Bullion Exchange. I'm just going to mention this special once again. So let me just, and it is a plug, of course. It's a plug, but also, I mean, if you want to get this special, you've got to do one of two things. So, you got to do two things. Number one, you head over to Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, And you also have to sign up to be it's free for now, I will start charging eventually, a free member of the Silver Investor Club. Okay, I'll put a link somewhere. I'll pop it in you know what I'll do? I'll pop it in the live chat right now. And then let me go back here. I'll pop it in the live chat, but then also I'll pop it HTTP. Oh, this is old school. Remember? I was just a whippersnapper when the internet first came out. //bit.ly. Oh my God, I'm so old. Silver Investor Club. That should work. That's a link now. So that's a link to the Silver Investor Club. So I have to approve you to join. Okay, 200 members, join us. And this is what it looks like. That link takes you to the About page. You'll see the little yellow Join Group section right there. And then you just need to be a member of that first off. So be a member. And then if you want to take advantage of that Perth Bullion Exchange special, then you go over to perthbullion.com.au. And again, the deal was, if you type in, so it's $2 off per ounce for 1 ounce and 2 ounce silver. So again, $2 off per ounce for 1 ounce and 2 ounce silver. So for example, if you want the 2025 Maltese Cross, you'll get $2 off that price. Okay, but then there's lots of other stuff to go. Let's take a look at the silver section here at perthbullion.com.au. I'm going to go price low to high. Okay, so there's no discounts off the half ounce, but off the 1 ounce and the 2 ounce. So for example, the Legendary Warriors, you'll get $2 off an ounce for that. Any 2 ounce stuff, let's see the 2 ounce, you'll get $4 off for the 2 ounce price. And then anything like your 5 ounce, your 10 ounce and your kilos, it's $1 off per ounce. So $5 off for a 5 ounce, $10 off for a 10 ounce bar, probably around about $30 off for a kilo bar, which is a really damn good deal. Okay. Then what you do in the notes section, I'll show you where that is. Let me take you over here. Let me just add something to the cart. And by the way, that's if you have 20 or more items in the shopping cart, you also get free shipping. So let me just show you what I mean. Let me just pop in 20 instead, right? Let me pop in 20 of those. Okay. And what you're going to see on the right-hand side here, shipping charge for free, because that's the deal at Perth Bullion Exchange. When you have 20 or more items in your shopping cart, no matter whether it's 1 of this, 2 of that, 7 of that, 3 of that, mix and match, gold, silver, whatever, 20 or more items, free shipping Australia-wide. Okay. And then that little option comes up. But then when you go to the proceed checkout button, then there's an additional notes section. So in the additional order notes right there. So what you'll do is you'll come over to your Silver Investor Club thing. You'll click on your settings or something like that. You'll find your username and that'll be this one here, for example. So you'll just copy, say that one. You're not that person. You've got to still be that. You've got to be that person. Okay. Don't fake it. We'll know. And then you just type something like in there or just say, I'm a Silver Investor Club member, blah, blah, blah. My username is blah, blah, blah. Ricky will match that to check whether you are a member. Then he'll apply those discounts. Okay, so that's how it works. So first ahead, you go ahead and order and then put that in the notes. Then wait for the invoice to be adjusted to give you the $2 off per ounce or the $1 off per ounce, depending on what you're buying. And that'll be for the next week. Okay. If none of that makes sense, I'll pop it in a community post here in probably the streams and specials section. Okay. So that's how you get amazing specials from perthbullion.com.au. Shall we go back? Let's read out some comments now. We've got a lot of stuff to get through here, and then we shall get out of here because it's a long day. Let's see. Good evening from Lakeland in Florida. Another Florida man. We've got so many Florida men here. It's great to see. We'll have another Florida man. Love it. Yeah, it was about you. You said that before. That's all right. So good to see you, Nikki Lopez. Great. Thanks. Great to have you here. Benjamin Stone Herbert. How do you feel about the mining stocks in this quarter? Should I trim today or will we see some more upside before a correction? Well, we've just seen a little bit of a correction today, but that's just because of the thing. Let me share the screen and go back. I'm actually just going to check real quickly. What's my stuff done? Give me a sec. I'm going to do change. I'll do that by that, and then I'll do that by that. You can't see this. Oh, that's up. Oh, that's good. I'm going to go to my list of stuff. Let's see what's up for the day. Let's go through a quick market scan. Okay, silver's at $49.50. All right, you never know. We could close up 50. I'm just going to quickly go through a few things here that I'm going from up all the way to down. This is everything I'm currently in mining, like stock-wise at the moment. So BKT, BlackRock Mining, is up 33% for the day. That's nice. NVX, it's a lithium play, is up 22% today. ARR, American Rare Earths, is up 16% today. Strickland Metals is up 7.5%. This is a cannabis thing. That QPM Energy, PLS. Oh, it's back up. Geez, that was quick. PLS, is that the right price? Oh, it did. That was really quick. Okay, cool. PLS is back up at, where are we? $2.80. That was a quick little dip on PLS. We had a quick little dip down to like $2 something. Interesting. AGE, that's a uranium play. BSN is a uranium play. Now SVL is Silver Mines Limited. That's up a few percentage. Okay, so there's a lot of my stuff is up today. Let's take a look at the biggest losers today. Okay, that's not a really big loser. We've got USL, so this is the silver mining stocks. USL is down. Oh, it's right at that perfect Fibonacci line. Oh, that's great. Okay, so we're down like 2.5%. Oh no. Look at where it's probably going to over the longer term as silver price goes up. This is Unico Silver Limited, one of my largest exposures to silver miners. Okay, what else? We've got SS1, which is Sun Silver. Now, Sun Silver is down 4%. Okay, a little bit more. Cool. It's finding support at a previous Fibonacci line at 0.786, just like USL. Isn't that interesting? Okay, I'll just be watching that. I'm still in. I'm holding for the long term. I mean, look at where we're probably going over the longer term. This is on the quarterly time frame. Okay. When silver goes higher, the silver miners outperform as well. So wherever you think silver is going, watch out for the big and even some of the smaller player silver miners in Australia and, wherever you are in the world as well. What about ARD? What's ARD? ARD is actually up 3% today. That's another silver miner, for example. And there's lots of other small little micro cappy kind of stuff that I'm in at the moment. CHN's to do with platinum-ish. That's down a little bit, but I mean, look where it's been. So we're doing really, really well. Okay, things have just been breaking out. No, it's having maybe a little bit of a retrace, but I'm very bullish on them in the longer term. SBSW, which is Sibanye-Stillwater. This is the largest platinum play. I said the largest platinum mining stock in the world. I think it is Sibanye-Stillwater. It's on the New York Stock Exchange, and it's $8.7 billion market cap. It's the big boy. Okay. Sibanye-Stillwater. I would suggest it's just been having a little bit of resistance just there. Okay. That's on the monthly time frame. Massive run. Little bit of, having a bit of a retrace just today. Okay, so I would expect potentially some lower prices potentially coming. Watch out for maybe $10, something like that. I think you've got a bit of bearish divergence playing out as well. So if you've been in SBSW, I would just hold it for the longer term if you want to hold it if you're in it for the longer term. But if you're like, I kind of just want to trade in and out, or you're like, I think there's some other opportunities. And my number is quite high up. I've done really well with SBSW. I'd suggest that, it might be experiencing a little bit of a further dip, higher high, lower high on the RSI. The volume's still good. So something like that. I could see a pullback into this kind of general area, maybe even down to that $8 mark, quite potentially. Okay. So just, be aware of that. But, hopefully it just onwards and upwards. That's as platinum and palladium go up. What's platinum and palladium doing today? Let me go that way. Silver's at $49.60 now. Ooh, you never know. Here's platinum. I think platinum's going to experience a bit more of a dip, I think. So probably watch out for platinum at the moment. Palladium's had a lovely move as well. I don't recommend it. You can buy physical platinum. I don't recommend people buy physical platinum because it's too hard to get. It's expensive and the buyback rates are terrible. But yeah, it's getting into that expected resistance zone that I spoke about. Now, both platinum and palladium heavily, it's a lot to do with that Sibanye Stillwater. So, just keep an eye on it. I just be holding it for the longer term anyway. We're going to break the all-time high eventually. So that's all that stuff. Yeah. Oh, S32 is another one for a good silver play, and that's actually looking quite nice. It's at $3.15, and we've just broken through again. So we're looking really good on S32. Okay, South 32 Limited. That's smashing through. So I'm quite bullish on that long term as well. I could see this as that's a double bottom. Look at that pretty much. So you've got bullish divergence. Not bullish divergence. No, that's a higher high and that's a higher high. But yeah, pretty much looks like a double bottom going on there. So if you can convincingly break above there, you're probably looking onwards and upwards for S32. So that's another mining stock. It's in the top 300 on the ASX, which means you can actually invest through your superannuation if you're in the right super fund. I moved my super funds recently to just a regular old super fund to one that you can do some direct investments in top 300 ASX stocks. And S32 is one that I have in my superannuation now. Cool. I'm bullish on the long term. Let's go back here. So that's how I feel about that stuff. You just started stacking September 3rd. Okay, well, welcome to the wonderful world of stacking, Nikki Lopez. Great to see you. Everyone, all the people watching, etc., should be hitting the big red subscribe button right now to subscribe to Good Morning Stackers. Why would you do that? Well, you get pre-recorded content usually on a Monday and a Wednesday. I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then obviously I go live. I do sometimes do some pre-recorded content on the Friday, price analysis, news, interviews like we've done. And also I do the private live stream on the Silver Investor Club. Join for free. Asian markets in particular over the last few days seem to be pushing silver higher. Okay. Turning a blind eye to the changes being made might throw off the accuracy of our best speculation. Yeah. Sino says, if silver is the only way out, which I totally agree, what is the ideal amount to strive towards to be comfortable on the other side? What is the acceptable target in ounces? That's a really great question. And we'll just get through some final questions, some comments, and then we'll get out of here because I've got things to do and so do you. Actually, Chris Duane would have said this, and he did say this. If he was still here, he would probably say the same thing, which is back in ye olde times, 500 ounces of silver was considered like a king's ransom, right? Like kings didn't have that kind of, like 1,000 ounces of silver. Everyone talks about the 1,000 ounce mark. So go for 1,000 ounces. I mean, geez, you'd be pretty darn good for 1,000 ounces if we get into that kind of time, like a Chris Duane kind of hyperinflationary scenario kind of time. You have 1,000 ounces, 500 ounces, again, was like, a king's wealth back then. So yeah, 500 to 1,000, I think is pretty good. Let's see. Bryce Cooley says, I bought a 47-piece silverware set at a garage sale for $10. I opened it up and discovered it's real silver, so sterling. Oh, sorry, all stamped 800, which is 80% silver. That's amazing. The whole thing is worth about $2,300. You can get those kind of finds. Congratulations, man. That is really cool. Wow, I'd love that. Silver Sushi says, here I was thinking I'd missed the party. Haven't missed it at all, my friend. Jason Ashworth, let's see. Final comments? And we shall get out of here. Bryce says, Silver hit 50, the highest since the 1980s. Yes, this is a major milestone. Yes, I think silver will hit 60 by year end, quite possibly. Oh, mark my words. All right, your words have been marked, my friend. Fed will cut interest rates from now. They will continue for a little bit. Yes, I do agree. Conflicts, weak dollar, some of my compelling reasons why silver will hit $60 by year end. You could be right. Here's something to consider. I did show this previously. There's one little thing to consider, and I have shown this previously, but let me show you now. Let me get rid of all this. I want to show you the line graph. Someone else actually, let's see. I'm going to do North Star bad charts. They mentioned this and then I agreed with them. North Star charts. So if you're not following North Star charts on X, you really should. They're amazing. Where is it? Where's that silver line graph? Yeah, there we go. Silver, it's approaching its red line. Okay, it's around about $55. So it's a line graph on the monthly time frame using the logarithmic chart. So I'll show you over here. So monthly time frame, logarithmic chart. Now this is the candlesticks. I'm just going to show you the line chart. So what this charts, it doesn't chart the peaks, it just charts the closes. And then you'll see there. Now I've had this drawn in previously. I don't know where that trend line's gone, but look at that. Just be aware of this. That's all. And it did it with gold, and I'll show you the gold price. It did it with gold back through the 1980 to 2011 mark, the trend line. And then we found some resistance and then shot through it. So let me show you right there. And I have to punch into the daily. See that? And then if I punch into the weekly, and then I punch into the daily, it's not going to be drawn in perfectly, okay? But you had this little move here. I'll just do that. That's where it kind of sits. So you had this little move here on the gold price. Again, line chart, logarithmic on the... no, you're right, because I'm on the weekly. If I go back to the monthly, there you go. There it is. It shows up much... it's close enough for jazz. Anyway, you had this little kind of... Again, on the monthly, there you go. That goes through much better. You had this little bit of monthly resistance at that uptrend line on the line graph. And for silver, that sits at about $55 currently. So see that through there. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, maybe $60 by the end of the year. Just watch out for this little, 55, 56 kind of dollar area. Might be an area that we find a little bit of a bounce at. Just a little bit of a bounce, and then maybe, who knows, maybe back to 50 and then breaking through. And then I'll tell you now, when you break through that on the line graph, ooh, I mean, look what it did with look what it did with gold. Once you broke that, then look where we are now. Okay, so just keep that in mind, about 55, 56 in the sort of short term. Yeah. Back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Let's see. I feel like Rick only talks when it's necessary and valid, and not just making noise for the hell of it. Yeah, unlike me, says Luke Allaby. Ricky's great. It's already hit 50. Yeah, I know we already talked about that. $50 silver now is still extremely undervalued compared to the spending power in 1980. Yes, when I showed that inflation adjusted price, $200. Okay, very, very easy. Daz Stone said, was that $31 for a 50-cent round that you just saw? Probably. It probably is, man. Let's see, because don't forget you can't see the price here. Yeah, 31 Australian dollars. Again, that's Australian dollars. Daz, 31 Australian dollars for a round 50-cent coin, round 50-cent piece. Where am I? I'm back here. Yes, it was. Correct. A little bit of premium on top, but don't forget, a 1966 round 50-cent coin, decimal currency is 1/3 of an ounce of silver. And so silver in Australian dollars is 75 Australian dollars. And then you have to tack on a premium on top because they have to make money. They don't sell them at spot price. So yeah, about $31 is correct. That's not outrageous at all. That's kind of normal. But I remember when they were like $15. I remember when they were like $12. Back in the day. Gerald said, I saw my little coin shop dealer today at lunchtime as well as the barbershop after. Oh, wow, there you go. It's been a while since I've seen you, my friend. Yes, the run from under 50 to 51 was very fast. Yes, it was, correct. Marty Tran asks, will the Silver Investor Club discount include the seconds buybacks? That's a great question, which Ricky didn't answer. Great question. Let me see. Are there any buybacks? Let's have a look. Are there any buybacks? Well, it doesn't look like there's any buybacks anyway, but let's just check. Sorry, I have to go over to the screen. Sorry, you can't see that. There we go. Let's go to the screen. Let's go to the screen and me. You want screen and me? Why do you just want to see a blank screen? Does it include? Let's see. Are there any buybacks in the store at the moment? No, I don't think there are even. So I don't think it even matters, my friend. No, it doesn't even matter. There's no buybacks in silver at the moment, so it doesn't matter. But I would presume he would. He probably didn't mention it because there's no buybacks at the moment. So yeah. So short answer is no buybacks to get the discount on those anyway. Cool. Let's go back here. Final questions, final comments, and we'll get out of here. Chris Phipps says, I woke up and saw my net worth was up thousands when silver was at 51. Then I watched it slip all the way as I sipped my coffee. I'm still way up overall. Yeah, congratulations, man. So good. Just keep talking, Joe. The longer the show goes, the more chance it will hit $50 by the time the show finishes. You're absolutely correct. What are we at right now? Oh, God, you might be right. We're now at $49.70. Can we do this? Can we do it this time? Oh, maybe I'll keep talking for a little bit. Sure. Let's go to the hourly timer. You can't see what I'm doing here. Line graph to candles to there. Yeah, you're right. Look at this. You could be right. Yeah, silver's now back at $49.70. I don't think so. I doubt it. We've got to get through. Oh, yeah, the 618. No, you really could. You could hit 50 again. Maybe. I don't have another hour to do, guys. So, and we're about to tick over to the new hour. So I've been going for nearly an hour and a half. I can't do 2 hours of a live show because I've got stuff to do. And shouldn't you people be working? Let's see. Stack your body weight. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad idea. Let's see. Sorry, you've answered the questions. Sure will, Marty. See, I'm just going through the comments now. So you mentioned, yes, you will. Okay, cool. Good to know. I don't think there's any buybacks on there, though. Oh, you just purchased them all. Is that... So as I'm going through, I'm reading your questions. What you've done is you've just purchased all the buybacks on the website. Now you're getting the $2 off per ounce off. Oh, man, you have just cleaned up. Marty, you just cleaned up, man. Good on you, my friend. Wow. Okay, people, I think that's going to be it for the show. We've gone nearly an hour and a half. That has been the $50 Silver Party. We're going to play the theme song again just for a couple of seconds. Let's have a quick listen.
Yes, thank you. Hi, come on now. Party wise. Let's go.
Come on, we'll get to the chorus. Join with me. Let's dance it out. Come on.
Silver shining bright, it's time to celebrate. Celebrate. Hit that 50 mark, feeling so great. Feel so great. Stackers wait long, but now we elevate. Elevate. Bars and coins hang, yeah, we dominate. Dominate. From 80 till now, history create. Pop the bottles, let's get this party straight. It's a $50 silver party. Get your stacked up for the night. It's a $50 silver party. Dance to the kiss in the light. Investments up, we're laughing all the way. Laughing way. Mighty stocks on fire.
Second verse, why not?
Music play.
Let's get ready for the synchronized slurp. You ready? Let's do it in the chorus. Grab a tasty beverage. It's a $50 silver party, people. A $50 silver party. Thanks for watching Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. Let's do another synchronized slurp. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay informed. Keep stacking whatever you're stacking. The party will continue. Have a great day. See you soon.